So I want to tell you my complete vision for the training department. And so when you think about it, we're all in the game or the role of duplication. And so the place that I would prefer to start is actually at the very bottom. Because if we have 10 crew trainers per restaurant, thanks. All right, when you were able to build 10 great crew trainers, tell me what will happen to your shift leaders. They'll be better, right? They'll be better. And where do you promote people from in order to become a shift leader today? Today you go from crew. Because how many people have crew trainers today in the restaurants? Okay, what is the difference between your crew and your crew trainer today, Claudine?
The knowledge.
The knowledge? So you just say, hey, once you've learned so much, crew trainer.
Yes, and they have a little bit more of knowledge on the vision that we have. And like our vision as an organization is fast, friendly, accurate. So crew trainers know that they take care of customers, hospitality, the speed,
yeah,
the quality. So they have more knowledge on what we want to give to the customer.
Perfect. So 10 crew trainers, 10 certified shift leaders, department managers, GM, right? That should be the structure of the organization. But it starts by the crew trainers, which then can feed into shift leaders, which then can feed into department managers. You think about it, if you work hard on this process and you have 10 crew trainers, you will never have to train again in your restaurant, you personally. You never will. Because your crew trainers will train everybody every day for you. They will make sure that it's always every glove procedure, every procedure is done exactly as McDonald's wants. When you have a CFE, when you have a food safety visit, all those things will be 100% perfect because you know that they all know because you have 10 certified crew trainers. When you promote 2 crew trainers to be shift leaders, you've got 8 others to now train the two new crew trainers and to train the rest of the crew. So it will build upon itself once you establish it. But until you establish it, it's going to take some work. And actually having 10 crew trainers, or initially they want the 5, and they're going to help you get it going. But they're going to help you get it going. They're not going to do it for you. It's something that still has to be important for you and your team. Very good? Any other questions about that? But it's all going to start there and then going up because we've got more things that we need to do. I need more GMs. We have more restaurants coming. I need another supervisor. Like, actually, I'm like almost need 2 soon. So I need to build the strength. I need to build the bench so that we have people in place. You need to build your bench so that you have people in place for when you lose people. Make sense? Okay, what is today's theme? Yes, business principle number 3. All right, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How much do you know me? Ooh. Am I an artsy kind of person? Do I sit and stare at art? Do I look at sculptures and say, woo? Do I look at a painting and say, this makes me feel? Nope, not at all. But I am going to be a little artsy with you today. Okay? Anybody know who Michelangelo was? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Good answer, Jordan. Anybody else? Anybody else know who Michelangelo was? He was a painter, he was a sculptor, okay? One of the most famous artists ever in history. So in his early years of being an artist, he was a sculptor at first, but he wanted to be able to recreate and build the human body better than anybody else. In order for him to do that, though, he didn't go and sculpt. Most people would think he would go and sculpt and create or draw. He went and exhumed bodies. Exhumed means pull dead bodies out of graves so that he could cut them open and study the body. He did this illegally, and so what he did is he went to the poor neighborhoods in Italy where there was not really people paying attention to the dead bodies, I guess, right? So he would go dig them up at night, he would take the body and he would go cut up the body so that he could study it. And while he studied it, not only did he just cut and look, he would move parts of the body to see how it moved other parts of the body. Because he knew that if he was going to create a sculpture and if he was going to have it like this arm being back like this was going to pull here and pull here and pull, he wanted to understand how it would make it look to have the body in a different position. Now, there was a person who asked them to build a sculpture. The sculpture was called David. This sculpture was not something, two other artists had already started on it, and they failed. They just broke into the marble a little bit, and they said, no, I can't make it. I can't make it the masterpiece that they're asking. So Michelangelo said, you know what, I can do it. As he did it, though, he did not go and add anything to the stone, but he removed the excess. You think art in this case of sculpturing, when you're taking a big stone, all you're doing is removing the parts of the marble, the granite, whatever stone, this is marble, in order to reveal what was underneath. It wasn't, I'm going to add this to it to make it great. I'm going to add, it's exact opposite of removing to reveal the greatness that was beneath it. That's what sculpturing was. That's where the David came from. The David was his first piece that he created where he got worldwide recognition for being an artist, for being a sculptor. After this, he went on and to build many more great pieces. He did the Sistine Chapel, which is inside of the Vatican. So when you're looking up at the ceiling and you're seeing the pictures of what he called the creation of when God created the earth and this, what happened over the 7 days, he painted that. Well, he was in charge of the group that painted that. But this was where it all started, with the David, with this sculpture here. What I want you to think of is today, you guys are that piece of marble. And the amount of work that you do is that full piece. But the things that will make you successful is where you remove the excess. Today, you all are trying to do too much. So let's say, for an example, Miss Teresa. If I asked you, what's your sales right now, guest count growth for the month? Where you at?
I believe I'm a little below right now.
A little below what? Below zero? So you're negative? Yeah. All right. Let's say, all right, for simple purposes, let's say you're up 1% in guest counts. If I asked you to say, hey, I need you to double and be up 2% in guest counts, tell me what you would do. What would you think about doing?
We would focus on making sure we picked up on our speed.
Okay.
Definitely with my store. A lot of it would be focusing on the speed through the drive-through. It would be splitting the functions like the cash in the back window, splitting the functions with our grill, focusing on, I would say, pushing cars through during after school.
Are these
a good rush?
Are these any things you're not doing today?
Well, I still have I believe I still have 2 clams on my grill.
Yeah.
We're struggling.
Okay. All right, same for everybody. Right now, do you know what the guest count target for this year is? 2.4%. Very close, 2.4%. So if you were to try and say, all right, I have to improve guest counts by 2.4% this year over last year, and you start thinking of the answers, you're going to come up with these exact same answers, right? You're going to say, well, I need to be faster. I need to make sure that we're training more, but you're going to put more work upon yourself in order to become better, right? Are you going to think that you need to work more hours? Are you going to think that while you're there, you're going to need to show more urgency, that you're going to have to? Is that what? Is that what's going to push it? You're not going to put more hours in?
I'll be more intentional and productive when I'm there. Make sure that my managers and then my team understand. Like as for right now, when everything gets good with the grills, we can do 3 at a time, which is it's gonna help my store push those quarter pounders through, and people won't have to wait outside longer for quarter pounder meat.
Perfect. So Teresa sells more quarters than anybody else. So having the grills is super important. So here's my question for you. If I ask you to now do, instead of 2.4%, to go to 4.8% guest counts for the year, what would your answers be on how you're going to achieve it? Ms. Betty? Betty Ephraim? I'm asking you to double. So they want a 2.4. I'm asking you to double it. What are you going to do? I need it to happen. I need a 4.8% increase out of your restaurant. I need you to double the growth that you have right now. How are you going to do it?
Be more friendly, accurate, and make sure everything is going out as it should, and the speed, obviously.
So are those anything that you're doing differently today? So how are you going to do that? I'm asking you to double. So you're saying you're going to do the same thing you're already doing. How is that going to create double the results?
Probably with more urgency.
With more urgency, so you're going to work harder, work faster when you're there? Okay. Anybody else have a different answer than that? Randy, what you got?
I want to implement this year our operations. So open earlier and close.
Okay. Yeah. That's a way right there you can do a little different. But now you're saying do more. So have the restaurant open more. It's be there more hours.
Well, not exactly me, but
Somebody. Yeah. Okay. The principle that I want you guys to learn from this is a little different. So here's our targets for the year, right? 2.4% guest counts, 4% sales growth. This is what's given to us from the BU. And a B2B accuracy, did I put accuracy? B2B accuracy of 3% or less. And then a 75% or greater health use the second side, and they want to increase 1 shift leader per quarter. This is what the BU gave us. Okay? Per quarter. So we should grow 4 shift leaders this year. But really, if you look at your shift leadership turnover, that's going to keep you flat. You guys lose 4 a year on average per restaurant. Okay, so here's what I want you to think of. I asked you, how is it that you're going to do it? How are you going to do it? And you kind of gave me some answers of, well, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to do this faster. I'm going to use more urgency. Right? That was kind of the answers you gave me, is what this guy's saying up here. You're just telling me that I'm going to be busier while I'm at work. I'm going to be busier while I'm at work. That's what. Is that the right answer? Is that how it's going to work?
No.
Okay. Well, hold on. What if, I'm going to skip to the next one. Nope. Next one. Boom. Instead of 2.4%, I'm now asking you for 25%. I'm asking you to 10 times your guest count growth this year over the target. 25% guest count growth. So that's your job. You got to figure it out. Jamie, what are you going to do? How are you going to get a 25x now instead of a 2.4?
I would start by hiring.
You'd start by hiring? Okay, and?
That would hit on the training as well, making sure all your people that you already have are trained properly and working to the way that you want them, and then training
Okay.
new hires the same.
Are those things different than you would do for a 2.4% guest growth?
Not different, but it'd add more focus to that.
You'd add more focus. So in that sense, a little differently. Destiny, you got to hit a 25% guest count increase this year. What are you going to do?
That's what I was also thinking is staffing and being able to have somebody do the schedule right, that even though like it says that that's what never mind, I'm already doing that now, so I'm not sure what we'd do. Get more managers that know what they're doing.
Get more managers that know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Staff to build sales.
Staff to build sales,
I
Teresa?
don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. But we're looking for a 25% increase now, not a 2.4. Like, meaning for every 4 guests you have today, you got to add 1 more going forward. So if you have 1,000 transactions per day on average, now I need 1,250. I need an extra 250 guest counts per day. How are you going to do it?
Stand outside my store and say, come on, you guys, come on, you guys. I'm just kidding.
Would it work?
No, it wouldn't work.
No, then I only need answers that work, Teresa.
Well, right now, in my situation, we have a taco time that's open up across the street, so we are working on and trying to beat them, right? We want to be faster than they are over there.
You want to be faster in taco time, and that's going to get you a 25% guest count growth.
No, there's gonna have to be a lot more.
Okay, little Betty.
I feel like it's more of how your customers are treated inside your store.
How they're treated?
Like how you.
So the friendly aspect?
Yeah, more of that. Because, okay, at Taco Town, whatever, they can have, yeah, they're fast, but are they treating their customers right? Because if they don't get good experience, they're not going to want to go back.
So, and how's this different than what you're doing today? Because we got to have a 25%. We got to have a 25% guest count growth. I got to have a 25%, guys.
25.
Like, we either grow or we fail. How are you going to give me 25%? No, you this year, as soon as you get back. Remember, I said that if we don't change where we are, as soon as we get back in the restaurants, this meeting, we failed. So what's the whole point of being here? I need 25% guest count growth. Yasmin, what are you going to do? I need 25% guest count growth. For every 4 people that come in, I need 1 more. Every 4 cars, you need to add a 5th.
Promote the stuff that's coming out?
Promote the stuff that's coming out. Is that going to be enough to get 25% sales?
No, but it would help.
If it was short, what did we do last year? Grinch all day, it would have. Or if we had Minecraft all day, it would have. But that, how did we do when it came to fast, accurate, friendly when we had Grinch and we had Minecraft?
Not the best.
Not that good, so right? So anyway, when we have K-pop Demon Hunters, how's it going to be?
Could be exciting.
Could be better.
Exciting.
Learn from our mistakes.
Well, maybe, right?
No, maybe, yes.
Yes, in Beaver. I believe you.
Every store, we learn from our mistakes.
I hope so. All right. Here's what I want you guys to walk away from this. The only way to do better than what you're doing today is what I'm going to call the 80-20 rule. Meaning, if you take all your activities that you do in the restaurant every day, 80% of those activities that you're doing are trash. 20% of the activities you're doing should be the only activities that you do all day, every day on repeat. How many of you guys count tills? Trash. You shouldn't be doing that. Nobody in this room should ever count down a drawer. Because is that how you're going to get to a 25% guest count increase? By you sitting in the office counting down a drawer? How many of you run to the bank? Trash. You shouldn't. How are you going to get a 25% guest count increase by running to the bank and leaving your restaurant behind? How many of you get in a position, stuck in a position every day by working on the floor? Trash. How are you going to lead your people to do better if you are a crew person? So now what I need you to tell me is, what are our non-negotiables? What is that 20%? Because there is a 20% of work that you do every day that is the best work you can do. That when you do that work, it elevates your restaurant, it elevates the guest experience, it elevates your crew's experience, and makes it so that we can grow guest counts. But that work, when you're not doing that work, trash. That is not what you can do anymore. You have to cut off the 80%. You have to take your piece of marble and remove the stuff that's stopping you from succeeding. Because underneath, there is a masterpiece. There is art. But what you're doing is you're focusing on and doing the things that you should not be doing. I'm not asking you to do more. I'm asking you to do less of the trash, which allows you to do more of the things that will make you successful. That is how you can elevate your restaurant. But it's doing the right things. Now, let's create that list. I believe there's a page in the workbook. I know there's a page in the workbook. Okay. We're going to go, actually, you can just do it on that page under this guy. You know, the guy that's like, oh man, this sucks. I hate my job. I'm so busy all the time. There's a big blank place right there. There's also a page later where we're going to talk about non-negotiables. But I want you to look at and think about what are the 20% of things that you should be doing every day. Let's name them off for me. Give me. What should you be doing every day?
Validating deposits. How often should we validate deposits?
Daily? Does that build guest counts? No. Trash. Get someone else to do it.
Hospitality,
Working where?
hospitality, in hospitality.
How? What does that look like?
Customer service.
So you personally taking care of the customer?
No, having someone else, but checking on them. Checking.
So maybe then. Maybe then. Give me some examples of things we should be doing every day, that you guys should be doing every day to lead your restaurant for a 25% guest count growth. Ready?
Should be we have all the product, so that way we don't have items unavailable.
Okay. So doing a pre-shift checklist? I agree with that one 100%. I think that if pre-shift checklists were done every time before the shift, that it would help the customers have a better experience. Because our crew would have a better experience and our customer would have a better experience by doing a pre-shift checklist. I agree with that. Anybody disagree with that?
The ice cream machine is working.
Ask what?
The ABS, the ice cream machine is working.
The ice cream machine's working. What breaks the ice cream machine most of the time?
It's old.
No.
Mine is old.
No.
It doesn't start on time.
Jay, why is Hurricane's ice cream machine not work sometimes?
So Randy is correct, it is one of the oldest ones in the
Uh-huh.
company, but 90% of the time it is a self-taught problem.
It is because you cleaned it wrong, you overfilled, you underfilled. That's it. You wanted to go into heat mode and you had too much ice cream mix in it, or you had too little ice cream mix in it. That's it. That's 90% of the reason why our ice cream machines fail. So what is it that you're doing inside of the restaurant to make sure your ice cream machine doesn't fail? When we talk about grills, how often are we doing a grill recovery and pulling out the grills and cleaning behind the grills? Like, it's easy to point towards maintenance and be like, I wish my equipment worked, but frick, what are you doing? Why does your equipment not work? And what responsibility do you have? What ownership do you have? So one of those non-negotiables should be, oh, I actually pull out my maintenance calendar and I look to make sure that it was all done and done right. That's one of those things that I think is the 20% of the work that nobody's doing. Does anybody in here actually use their maintenance calendar as designed? I know, but every time we have an RGR, check, 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 all signed off, everything looks good. We're faking the funk. So if we fake the 20% that we're supposed to be doing, is that going to get us a 25% guest count increase? No. What would you rather do instead of the maintenance calendar? I'd rather go work fries. And I'd rather go bag for drive-through. The stuff that's trash. You're a leader. You are a leader. Remember I said, tell yourself every day, I'm a leader. If you're going to be a leader, you have to lead. Leaders don't do the same things that everybody else do. They lead. They do it differently. You decide what's important in your restaurant by what you do, what you make important. So we got to make it important. Okay, non-negotiables. So we talked about a pre-shift checklist. We talked about maintenance calendar. What else should you be on your non-negotiable list? Meaning these are the things that you're going to make sure happen all the time. It's the 20% of the work you should be doing, and the 80% of the work that you're not supposed to be doing, you're not going to do. This is not about saying yes, this is about saying no more than anything, which then will allow you to say yes to the right things. Claydine,
I
and then
think
Frida.
the crew, the schedule.
Having the crew schedule?
Not doing it, but checking it and making sure there's people on the floor to take care of the customers.
And not only do I want you to make sure the crew schedule is done and posted, but there's the manager schedule, the crew schedule, but then I want you to make sure that you're investing into the areas on the schedule where you want to invest. Meaning, there are certain parts of your day where you could add guest counts better than others. And if our goal and the way we measure success is by adding guest counts, shouldn't we invest in those parts of the day where we have the best chance of getting a return? So right now, is anybody investing more labor dollars or putting more staff on the floor during certain time frames in order to build guest counts? Jamie, Miguel, tell me what you got.
So like during the peak times, we just staff up, especially during the lunch rush.
All right, so are you purposely looking at VLH and saying we're going to be +1, we're going to be 2 VLH? Like tell me the system or process where it's like, this is how we're investing.
I typically count like how many we would need per position and which positions we would need. So like we would need
Position,
for,
pero si no tenemos
three for
empleados,
front
¿para qué
counter,
sirve el position?
like 2 per drive-through, so like 1 presenting and 1 taking orders.
So you've said every day I'm going to have these positions in place for the peaks.
Yeah.
These positions staffed. Okay, cool. Tammy?
So I've gone back about 4 weeks with my sales, and I'm looking at what hours have the highest dollar amount and where my labor is like the lowest. So I know I need to add more people there so that we can get more cars through, get more people in the restaurant.
Okay.
And so I'm building up on there. So I have between like 14 to close to now 20 for peaks when I need them, so that we can build the sales and build those guest counts, which has
Cool.
been working.
Yeah, you've seen it working? Good. But an intentional thought process in how to invest. I like it. Randy talked about it because he was going to schedule more hours. That's another way of investing more labor dollars to build guest counts. Okay? I like it. So a non-negotiable is have the proper amount of staffing, or staff to the cells you want, not the cells you have. Okay? If I were going to give you a tip right now on staffing, which obviously I'm going to, here's what I would want to see. What is our biggest channel for sales today? Is it drive-through? Is it curbside? Is it delivery? Is it in-store? What's our biggest channel for sales? Drive-throughs. Drive-through still dominates the day. Dominates, right? Still almost 70% of sales. If I were going to invest more into building my drive-through, I would make sure I always had an expediter. An expediter being, you've got the assembler putting the order together. They are putting it here. You've got your ABS. You've got your nice little tray, or that condiment cart with all the little spaces on it. This person is the expediter. They're here, and they look, and they make sure that everything's there, and they're like, yep, double checked. Here's this order for the next car, and it's organized. Here's all the drinks capped. Here's the order, all done, all double checked. So all the presenter has to do is, see you tomorrow. That's it. If I were going to invest in anything staffing-wise, it would be an expediter. All day, every day. Because our drive-through is where we will build sales. If you need a person to build your drive-through, that it is the expediter. That's where we're missing the most, by far. By far, by far. When we also look at accuracy, like most of our accuracy mistakes happen in drive-through because that's where we have the most customers. Boom, gone. You just removed the biggest accuracy issue you have as well. It's a 2-for-1. Something the customers will notice, something the customers will feel, and something the customers will reward you for doing it right. Because you're accurate every single time, they will notice. Teresa, you're probably one of the only people that, come on in, that pays attention to the Facebook page in her area, those piss and moan pages? Yeah, the raves and whatever. I like to personally call those pages the victimhood page. Because all you're doing is you're saying, oh, I'm a victim, look at me. I'm a victim. Look what happened to me, I'm a victim, okay? That is what you call a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset. But Teresa pays attention to them. When her customers complain, she actually says, hey, I'm sorry, I'm the manager at McDonald's, please get a hold of me and I'll take care of you, right?
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. I'm not saying by you looking at it, you're being a victim.
Actually, sometimes my friends will tag me in on it because they know that I'm the GM there, and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
they've seen something on there, and then.
But since I know you pay attention to it, what would you say your customers complain about most often on Facebook?
I would say the quality of the food.
Quality? So like pink meat?
Not recently, but yeah, that was the thing in the past.
Okay, what?
And accuracy, them not getting what they ordered,
Uh-huh.
or paying for something and they didn't get it. Like.
So accuracy, paying for something they didn't get, and when it comes to accuracy, or when you're saying the order, it's like they asked for no onion and it had onion. Like they get pissed off at that stuff.
Yes. They're picky out there, though. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
So,
We do have a lot of modified orders.
Yeah.
Basic. It's like.
So when they ask for something and pay for something, not getting that something makes them mad?
Yes.
And then they get on the piss and moan page and piss and moan? And then you say, I'm sorry?
Yeah. And I say I take ownership for anything that happens in my store because it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
Even if it,
Sick.
it falls down on me. Like,
Okay.
Whatever, and I explain to them, I'm sorry that this experience, can you please, most of the time I'll say, like 90% of the time, they never come and fix the problem. Like, I'll put it down, talk to my
Right, they
manager,
don't come back.
Yeah, no,
They just
don't.
wanted to piss and moan.
Yeah, they did. But
Yeah. All right, so with that though, you're saying accuracy is probably your biggest because not making it the way they wanted or missing some product, that's the one of the biggest they have.
Yes.
I agree, 100%. If you had an expediter that verified that you gave them the right food and it was made the right way, would that solve 90% of your problems?
Yes. It would help.
Okay, when people see that on Facebook, what comments do they put? Does anybody ever see these things?
Oh, they all jump.
Oh yeah, what do they all say?
That happened to me.
But what do they like to say? They say, well, it's McDonald's, what do you expect?
Oh, then we get bashed for the ice cream machine, but my ice cream machine is actually working. So I'd be like, pull up, I got my ice cream here. But I do say that though. I'm like, we have ice cream here, let me take a picture. But then it goes back on to like McDonald's.
But they just say, it's McDonald's, what do you expect?
Or the
Why are you
people-
still eating at McDonald's? What do you expect?
It's fake food.
It's fake food, right? But all they do is just go bash, 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 bash. So if we want to change the perception, which will then lead to, you realize people read that and then they're like, no, I don't want my kid to go work there because they get complained about all the time. Why would I want my kid to work it? Because then someone might call them out on Facebook. And so, no, I'm not going to let my kid work there. Or why would I want to go work there when I see that they just have problems all the time? They make so many mistakes all the time. Why would I want to go work there? It's hurting more than just your sales and guest counts. It's hurting you getting the right people in the restaurants to help you serve them the best way. So anyway, accuracy pretty important. So if I were to invest in anywhere, it would be the expediter. But if accuracy was also important to me, I would talk about it every day. I would probably have like a little poster that said, hey, we haven't had an accuracy incident in so many days, our record's here, and I'd probably talk about it every day. Like if I were to say that was something like 20% of the things that I should be doing, that would be one of the things I would think I would want to do. Because if all I am when I show up is an extra crew person or an extra money counter or an extra bank runner, am I really going to help Fast, Accurate, or Friendly? No. But if we talk about accuracy and we work on accuracy every day and you make a goal and you say, hey guys, this peak period, we're going to be 100% on accurate. Not one person's going to come in that door with their bag and be like, hey, I missed something. And if we do that, we're going to celebrate that we're awesome. But how often do we do that? I know we do that with speed sometimes, right? But how do we do it there? And then the same thing with friendly. How do you actually measure friendly? You want to know how I want my people to be friendly? So if I say, hey, when you're presenting the food today, I want you to make sure you know every customer's eye color. If you look at that person, you know their eye color, then you know you paid attention to them. Like you were present with them. Because you guys know how many times I'm going through drive-thru and I get up to the window and they're like, hey, it's 1272. Oh, hey, Mark. It's like, holy frick, it took you that long to look at me? It's like, oh, yeah, I'll get it. Right, but it's like, that's what our people do. Yeah, 1272, please. Yep. Oh, hey. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. Like, that's friendly. That's what we call friendly. Get their eye color. You want to know that they look them in the eyes? Get their friggin' eye color. Say, hey, I need you to tell me, we're doing a survey today. I need to know do we have more brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes? What kind of eyes do we have around here? All right, it's just a way of making eye contact and paying attention. All right. The 20% that we need to do every day is where I need you guys to focus. So I want you guys to get together. What time? I guess we'll eat in just a sec, frick.
13 minutes.
Okay. But what I want to do is I want to break into groups. And I want you to talk about what those non-negotiables are. And you decide what are the things that you should be doing every day. And then I also want you to make the list of the things you should never, ever do again. Ever, ever? Ever, ever, ever?
Ever.
That was 2 days in a row I did that. That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. And then I said, Mariah, how old are you? You even know this song? And she said, yeah, I'm an old person inside. Right? Is that what you said? I'm an old soul. Yeah. Right? Because it was before her time. She's born in 2005.
99 though.
99? You're 99?
I said that yesterday.
Best of the century. I know, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Where are my eyes?
Brown. All right.
Good question, Mariah, what color are my eyes?
I didn't look yesterday.
She just learned the principle now. Give her a minute. All right, so I want you to go through and make a list of the 20% of the things that from now on you will make sure happen every single day. And the 80% of the stuff that you're basically never going to do again. Because in order for you to lead differently, you have to lead the things that need to be led and ignore the things that someone else can do for you. I'm not saying that 80% isn't supposed to be done, but I'm saying that you as a leader are not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to be guiding the work, leading the work, following up on the work, but not doing that work. I'm not saying never sweep again, never mop again. You will from time to time because you're trying to set an example or show, but 20% of the time, the 20% of the right stuff that you've been doing is what you're going to now do 90% of the time. You're going to flip it, or at least 80% of the time. Make sense? What we stop doing? What would you delegate? What would you systematize? And what would what would leaders personally own? Those are kind of the questions you're going to ask. But the 20% that you're going to now believe when you guys make this list, you're going to realize that you're doing the 80% all the time and you're skipping the 20%. You're not following up on the pre-shift checklist. You're not following up on the shift positioning guide. You're not following up on the maintenance calendar. You're not training. You're not coaching. What I'm also tempted to do is I'm tempted to go each one of your restaurants with duct tape and wooden spoons and tape frickin' wooden spoons onto your hands. So now you just have a wooden spoon and you're like, you can't do anything anymore except for the stuff you're supposed to be doing, which is leading the restaurant. You're supposed to be leading, training, coaching, following up, delegating. That's why you need wooden spoons. I'm not saying that you would never touch an order again, never assemble an order again. I'm just saying it should go from the 20% of you teaching, training, coaching to now 80% of teaching, training, coaching, and 20% of you doing stuff. It's a flippy. I might do it. Tiffany, I was going to start with you. That's where I thought of it. Well, she's the closest to my house, and that's where I film my videos. You guys see my Shake the Shake video?
Check. Nice.
Thanks, Claudine. Yeah, well, these are the ones that made it look great. I just happened to be there. Oh, by the way, Blake and Haley, these are the guys that do the personal brand stuff, that do the music videos, that kind of stuff that I work with.
The cool stuff.
The cool stuff, thank you. We also just did our first podcast. This year, I'm hosting 12 podcast sessions. I'm doing it with 6 owner-operators and 6 McDonald's franchisees, or 6 McDonald's corporate people, sorry. And so far, we've done 2 interviews. We did one with a guy who owns 23 restaurants in Tucson, Arizona, and then Daniel Morosco, who owns some restaurants in West Texas. She is the official spokesperson for every McDonald's owner-operator in the country today. So she's kind of a big deal. So anyway, I'm trying to find out the 20% of stuff that I can do to elevate our organization. Sometimes you got to play around a little bit. Okay? Let's grab lunch. Okay? And so to get very specific, I want you to think accuracy, and then it goes friendly, and then it goes fast. If we do it that way, our customers will notice there will be a difference, and we will get 25% guest count. Like, that'll happen. If you never mess up on another order again for the rest of the year, what would happen with your customer counts, your guest counts? Like, honestly, not one order ever again. Like, they would go up by how much? It's their biggest frustration. How many restaurants do we have in the 5th quintile right now when it comes to 1-800 complaints? How many? We have 5. We have 5. Who are those 5? You're one? So River Road, Cedar South.
Hurricane, I can't wait.
How do you know? Is it written
I'm
down
on
somewhere?
the calls every month.
Holy flip. It's like, okay.
She's racing with everyone.
So what is the biggest 1-800 complaint? Like the biggest complaint that customers have? It's accuracy. If we can fix accuracy, it'll change the world, okay? So work your ass off
Or you need help.
from now on. Well, I grabbed the top shirt.
It's because you have a hard time. Too small.
I did. And I'm trying not to mess up my hair.
Size.
I grabbed a medium. It was
you
just
need
what
a
was on
large
top. Thank you. All right. So that's it. I want you to think about now when you go in that room, every time you ask the question, will it improve on guest counts through accurate, friendly, or fast? Will it? And if not, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? But I've also heard some equipment complaints today. And when I hear about equipment complaints, guess what I think of? I think of extreme ownership and the principle of extreme ownership, which is one of our company values is ownership. In case you don't have all 7 of them memorized, one of them is ownership. Because I hear about equipment, but then I also say, well, was that equipment cleaned as designed? Okay? Was it cleaned and cared for as designed? And there's actually been a couple complaints where then I've asked the maintenance people and they say no of the complaints that were even made today. Yours is one of them.
Of course.
Your grills. Okay? The grills. So like, are they being pulled out and cleaned at least once a week and so on? Okay? Because then at that point, once you've done all you're supposed to do, then all right, then we can have conversations about the next. All right? So let's break up into groups, decide if you want to go somewhere. But the 20% to 80% should all be about your AFs. Okay, let's do it. Break up. You got 10 minutes.
Hey, Mark, in those groups, I would rather break it up a little different. So it's
Okay.
not doing all of St. George. I would rather intermingle.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Some networking going.
Well, yeah, because we've got the number 1, 2, and 3 restaurant here. We'd like to mix them up too, right? Number 5. Just kidding. I don't know where you were for the year. You're close to there. Yeah. All right. So never mind. We're going like this. Right here. Right here. Okay. Wendy. Psh. That side, Wendy. Psh. Claydine. Psh. Psh. And then here. Okay. So go grab your group and start talking about the 20% non-negotiables from now on, the things you will always do no matter what. And then you're going to put it in a list and you're going to present to the group.